Welcome to Six Count. I'm your host, Sarah Wild, bringing you the voices and stories of jazz from Durham, North Carolina. Taha, thank you so much for speaking with me for Six Count. Will you share where we are right now?
We are at the Hayti Collective Kitchen and Cocktails.
Yes, we're very close to the heart of downtown, but it's great to be here. And you've been promoting the Jazz Jam, which happens on Wednesday evenings from 8:30 to 11:30. But I also heard from the bartender who said sometimes you go even later.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the energy of the night. But out of respect for my house band, I like to get them home, at an ample time. So we try to end at 11:30 for sure.
Were you part of the organizers who initially launched the series?
Yeah, it was just a serendipitous moment. I walked into Hayti Collective as I normally do to get breakfast. I decided that my intentions were not pure that day, so I was honest with Derek and I said, yo, I didn't mean to just come here and get food. I wanted to also pitch you the Jazz Jam. And it just so happened that karaoke night, the previous night, was not doing too hot. And so he offered me that same night, which was Wednesday night. So we started doing featured artists more recently in the last couple months. And we do that because it's important to highlight local talent in the area as well as to attract different markets, because every musician doesn't only just play jazz. They have these other bags that they play in, whether it's R&B, neo soul, bluegrass, like some musicians in the area. So that fusion is represented in their audience, and so I'm hoping to attract different audiences, not just to the Hayti Collective, but the Hayti area district in Durham, because we have a lot of great businesses in this area that just don't unfortunately see a lot of traffic because of whatever stigmas that have been attached to Durham that I particularly hear coming from Raleigh, and that's coming from somebody who grew up and went to high school in Raleigh. So yeah, so many great businesses, and I've been to different jazz performances at the Heritage Center, which is just across the street. And so agreed, we need more people here. But will you share about who's going to be tonight and the featured artist? Tonight we have Shayna Martin, and she is a talented baritone sax player. She went to Duke initially, got her undergrad, and then went to Central and got another undergrad, I believe, and a master's degree in jazz studies. So she's played with the likes of like Harry Connick, as well as she's currently touring with Thrio Marsalis.
And will you share a little bit about yourself? And you play the drums, but do you play with other bands as well? Any other jam sessions you like to go to?
I play drums. I play in the Boom Unit Brass Band and Control-Alt-Delete. There's some bands based out of Chapel Hill. Other jazz jams I love going to, or jams in general. Man, there's so many jams in the Triangle, from Monday night at the Cave to Tuesday night. We have 4 jams happening.
What?
There's KingFisher. That's not really a jam, that's more of a session, but it's a very high quality session. I encourage all of your viewers and listeners to check that out immediately. And then J Lights, which is more of a beginner friendly jazz jam in downtown Raleigh at Smoky Hollow. And then there's an R&B jam at the Architect hosted by the Yonder Band. And that's with Grady Matthews and Stephen Klingman and Jay Hilliard and I forgot the other guy, Reed something. And then here they have an R&B jam on Tuesday nights at the same spot. That's hosted by CJ Baker, another Central alumnus.
Okay. And do you tend to stick with jazz, or I'm hearing a lot of fusion and your varied tastes?
Lately, I've been focusing on learning how to swing because it's such an important part of playing this music. I mean, I still play other kinds of music, but I'm focusing mostly on jazz in order to just do it properly. I consider this just a chapter in, not jazz a chapter in a musical, but learning how to swing a chapter in my musical journey. And that's kind of where I've put myself right now. So,
well, Six Count loves to hear that. Who are you listening to right now?
Man, today I was listening to Billy Higgins with the Eastern Rebellion Band with Cedar Walton, Bob Berg, Sam Jones. Oh, I don't know. And then Billy Higgins. Yeah.
We can bother you for your Spotify playlist another time. But to go back to just the jam, every jam is different. And like you referred to with KingFisher, there's a few musicians who are able to play near the second set, but often it's mostly just the house band. But can you share what kind of expectations and norms there are for this one and anything else that a musician might need to know before coming?
I think if you're a musician that wants to participate, you are more than welcome, especially if you are new to jazz. I want you to feel comfortable, trying what you want to try here. But at the same time, this is a very important art form, not just to Americans, but also people around the world. And with that, we try hard to make sure we all respect that art form. And so new players, there's a lot of stuff they don't know, whether it's etiquette or whether it's just how to navigate trading fours with your drummer. I think it's important that people come ready to play, but also ready to listen and hear the feedback that they receive and seek it out too, because when somebody's new to a jam, you're not going to necessarily be super honest with them about how they played, because you want them to come back. You want them to feel safe in our community. And that's something that jazz has a bad rep for, which is dogging on people. Yeah. But those experiences also make us stronger. And if anybody does get offended or feels like people don't like them at the jam, that's not the case. We just all want to see each other improve. Mm-hmm. And so come to the jam seeking to play, but also seeking some feedback. And so the house band only plays maybe 3 or 4 tunes in the beginning, and then we open it up based on how many people are here. Okay. So, yeah.
Anything else on the etiquette side? Not being a jazz musician myself, I feel a bit ignorant on what those could look like for the purposes of this jam.
I'm not going to give you a long list of rules, but I think things that I've seen here at this jam that I don't want to see ever again is somebody getting on the stage and taking pictures of a musician and then getting in their face while they're playing, or getting in their face while they're playing. You should not be on the stage. Everybody on the stage needs to feel safe. Please stay off the stage if you are not participating. Soloing, everybody, you're here to play, but you're here to contribute musically. This is not just a 30-second spotlight for your solo. 2 choruses if you're hot, 1 if you're not, as a great friend of mine, Sam King, once said. So, and that's just out of respect for all the musicians that came to play, because we all want to hear everybody play. Yeah. So, and you'll be able to play on the next tune. Don't take too many choruses when you're soloing.
Some of this is just common sense, be a good person, but then if it's not made explicit, and sometimes, there is a discrepancy between different people's expectations.
Absolutely. And I think that's the biggest thing about when musicians leave a jam upset. I know I've left jams butthurt, and it wasn't because anybody hurt my feelings, it's because I hurt my own feelings based on what the energy I received. And I've had experiences where people have, cussed me out on the bandstand or just because I was messing up. And you're a drummer, your mistakes are the loudest, right? It's just important to remember, especially in those times, we're all improving and we're all on our own musical journey. Anyway, I also think it's so important for people to be welcoming at jam sessions, and not welcoming as oh, you played great, keep on coming back, but good try, but here's what you can do to make that a good job.
Andy Blair did last week's as the host. Is that the right word for it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And you're roommates with him, you were sharing about. So anything you want to talk about being roommates with Andy and the kind of music y'all do? Do you collaborate a lot?
Andy and I literally sit in our rooms and practice separately every day because we have these individual things we want to work on. I used to jam a lot more when I was doing music as a hobby, but now that I'm trying to pay my rent doing this, I've learned that jamming with other people is a fun conversation to have, and it's fun if you're hanging out with some friends, but during the daytime is work time, and so that's when we sharpen the blade and do what we need to do in order to take our music to the next level. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with me. I'm excited to hear the session. Anything else you'd like to add for Six Count listeners?
When you come to the jam, enjoy some food, enjoy some drinks, listen. I really want this event to grow because it's so important to not just me, but to the central community that we have a jam that we can call our the central jam, because UNCG has one, UNC has the Cave, NC State has Raleigh, so they got places to play. But central students, especially those in development, the next generation of diamonds, they're going to need somewhere to have that pressure put on them, because Colt and diamonds.
Taha, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Six Count. I'm Zara Wild. You can let us know what you thought of the episode or recommend a guest by emailing us at sixcountpodcast@gmail.com or by finding us on Twitter or Instagram at sixcountpodcast. If you'd like to support our work in telling the story of jazz in Durham, you can make a gift to the show by following the link in our episode description. Thanks for listening.